So our next presentation is by Sri Rushikesh Kalokar. He will be talking about the grazing culture of the Nand Gavali pastoral community in Maharashtra. And he's coming from Talegaon, Aravi, Wardha in Maharashtra. Rushikesh Kalokar is a member of the Nand Gavali community also, and also pursuing as a law student and works with the Gawla Breeders Association. He has contributed to the official World Pastoral Map for the International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralism of 2026 and is a member of the IUCN Commission on Ecosystem Management. Welcome, Rishikesh ji, and we'd like
Thank
you
you,
to
ma'am.
take us through the grazing culture followed in the community. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I hope you can hear me. Yes. My voice is audible to you?
Yes. We would like you to
Thank you.
speak slightly louder.
Okay, no problem. Uh, so first of all, please on my PPT. Yes. The next one. So this is my topic. First is that is the grazing culture of the Nandagoli pastoral community. This particular community is in the Vidarbha region of the Maharashtra. The Nandagoli pastorals are the pastorals who is not who just migrate in ancient period from the Uttar Pradesh side, and they just get migrated over from the their trekking route is like Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra, and they adopt here the new culture. So actually, they mostly they observe some festivals. That festivals are known as the Bhaldev festivals. The Bhaldev festival is one of the having a significance in Nandagoli community. So this particular festival in the August month. So this is a festival also known as a festival for grass, and this is what the grazing culture of the Nandagoli pastoral community. So can you please move on the next slide? Yeah, next slide. Yes. So the first presentation topic is cultural and significance of the Bhaldev festival. So Bhaldev festival are observed in the Bhadrapad month, that is around in August or September, which indicating the time period for the commencement of the grazing over the pasture, and it is a better time. At that particular moment, the grasses in the pasture land is getting more nutritious and their seeds are getting more mature. So that's why the seeds can make a better production for next year. So that's why the before the starting the Bhaldi festival, the some older members from the community have planned together for the commencement of grazing over the pasture. So this is everywhere before the Bhaldi festival they did. So before the raining season come in the pre-monsoon area, the grasses are going to start, which gets grown up. But at this early moment, if we graze on that particular pasture, so we don't get a better nutrients from that particular grass. So that's why the peoples from Nandagoli committee wait over some 1 or 2 months for the Haldi festival. So that's the reason because the at that particular moment the grass reach at their optimal stage of the nutritious. So after this particular time period, they start grazing. They commence the grazing and they allow their cattle to graze in the forest land and the around pastures. So that particular pasture is called Gaulo pastures in this particular region. So this is what the significance behind this, and the reason of this particular because the seeds are get more able to produce production next year if we graze so early. So which doesn't make more production of the seed and which results is likely getting uh, the seeds the plants not getting produced more. in next year the cultivation is not like such that we expected. So this is what the significance of the Bhalya festival. The another, can you move on the next slide? Next slide. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Next slide,
Yes.
please.
So that's a particular moment after the Bhaldi festival. We did this is a compartment based grazing system. So there is a pasture, huge pasture around the Nandagolis villages. That particular villages are called Hittis. So Hittis are the pastoral settlements. So around this Hittis settlement, there is a huge pastures. So that pasture is around the thousands of hectares. So that's why the all the members who from the Nandagoli community comes together and they make compartments over the grazing pasture, and they use it like in the 5 to 6 compartments over these 100 acres of land, or maybe the 1,000 it increases up to. So this help to ensure this full growth of the grasses. So the pastorals from the villages are Chandni, Danapur, Malegaon, Bhutli, Hiti, Chopan, Gumgaon, Kherwada. These are the village having a large pasture. This is the particular village who are dominantly by the Nandagoli peoples. These compartments allow them to regenerate and helps to prevent a degradation of soils. So they first use go on the pastures. They use for the next 1 month first compartment. After they move on the second, so they never allow their cattle to go on the pasture land and freely allow to the graze. So they first go on the first compartments. They first utilize that, and then after they move on the second. After the 2 to 5 second after the compartments, so they use next one. So that's the reason we after to come up the fifth and sixth, the first we get a regenerate again. So this is what their strategy. They can help. This is the reason they can use the fodder over the period of time. So they get more time for the grazing pasture, and this is also help to use the grazing pasture for the proper utilization. Yeah. So can you move on the next slide? Thank you. So after the next after the January month, the use the pastorals use this pasture land, and after that the period of migration was started. Because in this during summer the pastures are not having a full of the grasses, and the main source of the pastorals are this pasture at the forest land. And after the some grazing restrictions by the forest department, they are not to fully utilize this available pastures. So that's why the problem was arises of the migration. So during the period of the February to August, they are start migration. Uh, so between this period, they Nandagoli migrate over the areas where the sufficient water is available. So mostly the near a river bank, and which is a Varda river, which is very close to the this Nandagoli people. So mostly they are migrate towards the Varda river, where they go and they settle at any farm. So there is a farm. There have certain strategies everywhere they follow. They go to the farmer and they make some agreements to in exchange of the fodder for the fertilizers. So the farmers in the farm who reside, they provide them the fodder or the crop residues. Actually, let's say hay or okay, hay and straw. So they provide in exchange of the fertilizer, the cow dung. So this is what their yearly uh, the every year's migration. Then this is what their strategy. But during this process, they having facing a lot of big natural calamities like a wind, a lightning, of floods. So this is what the pastoral. This is all the calamities. They must have to be adapt this changing. and for the ensuring their buffaloes survival and welfare despite the hard survival and welfare despite the hardships. So this is why they must be survive this for the feeding their cattle. So and at this particular during this period, the pastorals, their sons are also face the issues, their educational issues. They get migrated, their education school is here. So this is what the problem arises, and they have to be mitigate these strategies, mitigate during this summer. So there is a lot of the challenges they have faced during the migration period. Uh, Migration at the particular time, migration they make some hut in the farm and they leaves and the cattle more than the 50 cattle. Some people have been around 100 cattle. So this is what the strategy they follows. Can you move on next slide? Yeah. And as I told that there, before the after the Bhaldev festival, they make grazing compartments over there, and the last compartment they not utilize for the grazing purpose. The from that last compartments they use for the remaining grass and that bundle it, and they use for the fodder storage. And this the particular this storage of the fodder. So I here this photo. It is a map. This is a village is around. And these is are the storage around the open area. It is a Google map actually. So this is the storage in the you can see in the photo. So they make around the fencing around the grasses stock. So they make this compartment because they after they come from the migration, they use this particular grass for the fodder for the feed their animal because during the period of the monsoon and they start from Bhaldev. So this is the period of around 1 month. So they don't have any feed particular feed they have because they come from migration and they don't have any feed and they start grazing. They can't start grazing because of the Haldev festival is not coming. So that's at that particular moment, the pastorals use this fodder for this particular aspects. So these bundles are used during this pre-monsoon period when they come back from the village after migration to ensure their sufficient feed for cattle. So this particular one bundle is around the uh, 3 kgs, and the pastorals in the Chandni village that are very near from my village. So as we know that there is from around the 10 lakh bundles of this came from that particular pasture. And this was huge, and even there is a strange story that this was the particular area. This is RV area, also known as the Denmark of Vidarbha, because the Britishers observed that this particular region having a huge grasslands and all, and these are the cities that produce a lot of milk and the milk products. So that's and the popular Maharashtra village called Pimpalkuta was famous for the butter, which is in this particular region. So this is what the strategy they follows. So this is a pasture management conserved by our community, Nand Gavali community, along with the Gavla Breeders Association, and move on the next slide. Last one slide. Yeah. So this is the Gaulav cattle. This is important to know that about the Gaulav cattle. Gaulav cattle can't you can't make it for a stall pitch. The cattle have a habitual to get go around the pasture land, and actually it's daily roaming around the 10 kilometers. After that, it can produce a milk. So this is the so that's why the cattle, this particular cattle must have need to graze around the pastures. So you can't if you want to milk production from this cattle, so you must go on the pastures. You can't make stall feed because there are some process rumination can't produce more milk by stall feeds. And this is 20 years ago. Now the Gaulo population is very low. The Gaulo Breeders Association particularly work for that. It's around we observe that some pure breed of the cattle is just 520s. Before it was but in 2030, before we work start, it just left one 118 cattle are left. So now it's the numbers are arises. So this is because the people are still they follow the some cultures, Bangladesh. So this is what the reason the cattle are now you can see in this photo. And sorry, I have mixed some lot of mistakes, grammatical mistakes. So,
Thank you, Rishikesh. Not at all. We
yeah,
totally learned a lot from your session.
I
Aruna,
hope yeah, I hope you get my point to understand what exactly I have to say. Thanks. Thanks
Thank you,
to FES to give this opportunity. I can't stay so longer. I had to heard you, but I have some exam, so I can't be join for next sessions.
ओके थैंक यू ऋषिकेश जी। आपने जो अभी प्रेजेंटेशन दिया है उसका मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में समराइज कर लेती हूँ। आपने जो बताया है कि ये प्रेजेंटेशन में कि नंदगवली चरवाहा समुदाय की चराई संस्कृति और उनके पारंपरिक प्रबंधन तरीकों पर आधारित है, और जिसमें
हाँ,
मुख्य आपने भालदेव उत्सव और उसका महत्व है, खंड आधारित चराई प्रणाली है, गर्मियों के प्रवास और अनुकूल रणनीति, चारे का भंडारण और उपयोग। तो ये
yes,
आपने उसमें बताया है। जैसे कि भालदेव उत्सव है वो भाद्रपद महीने में मनाया जाता है और
yes,
यह चराई की मौसम की शुरुआत दर्शाता है। इस समय घास अधिक पोषण युक्त होती है और बीज उत्पन्न करने में सक्षम होती है, जो चारागाहों को लंबे समय तक घास पुनर्जनन में सहायक है। दूसरा है कि खंड आधारित चराई प्रणाली, तो जिसमें आप चरवाहे 100 हेक्टेयर भूमि को 5-6 खंडों में विभाजित करते हैं, जिसमें हर क्षेत्र के पुनर्जीवित होने का समय मिलता है। एक खंड का चराई खत्म होने पर दूसरे खंड में घास उपलब्ध रहती है। और यह जो प्रणाली है वो भूमि के क्षरण को रोकने में भी मदद करती है। गर्मियां और प्रवास के अनुकूलन रणनीति, तो फरवरी से अगस्त के बीच समुदाय पानी और चारे की तलाश में नदी किनारे क्षेत्रों की ओर प्रवास करता है। प्रवास के दौरान किसान गोबर के बदले फसल अवशेष प्रदान करते हैं, जिससे पारस्परिक लाभ होता है। चारे का भंडारण और उपयोग, प्रवास से लौटने के दौरान अंतिम खंड के घास को बंडल बनाकर स्टोर किया जाता है। कुशल और पावन्य घास का उपयोग गर्मी के दौरान भंडारण के लिए किया जाता है। इसके अलावा समुदाय द्वारा चारागाह संरक्षण, जिसमें पिछले 20 वर्षों से गोला गायों की संख्या में कमी आई है, क्योंकि घास के मैदानों पर प्रतिबंध लगा दिया गया है। तो समुदाय अगर मिलके आधारित ये प्रबंधन करे तो इस स्थिति को सुधारा जा सकता है। यह दस्तावेज सामुदायिक पारंपरिक प्रथाओं के साथ साथ उनके सामने आने वाली चुनौतियों को भी उजागर करता है। जो आप इसमें कुछ जोड़ना चाहेंगे ऋषिकेश जी? कुछ छूट रहा है
नहीं मुझे
तो?
नहीं लगता कि कुछ छूटा था कि बट
ओके।
इसमें जो ब्रिटिशर्स के गैजेटर थे आई थिंक 1905 का जो ब्रिटिशर्स गैजेटर थे उसमें इसकी नोंद की गई है। ये सब जो चीजें थे जो कल्चरल ये थे इन्होंने उनके जो सीपी एंड बेरा का जो गैजेट था सेंट्रल प्रोविंसेस एंड बेरा का उसमें उन्होंने पर्टिकुलर इसका नोटिफिकेशन कर लिया है। सो दिस इज द पर्टिकुलर रीजन मैंने बताया कि इससे ब्रिटिशर्स ने नाम दिया इस पर्टिकुलर रीजन को डेनमार्क कहा जाता है। और यहाँ की जो एक फेमस केस थी कि यहाँ से जो सीड्स निकलता था ग्रेस का वो चोरी हो गया था उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो ग्रास थे वो अलग ही प्रकार का प्रोडक्शन करता है। सो आप यहाँ पे कभी आइए अगर एफईएस से भी कोई आता है सो दिस इज अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अस। थैंक यू। I think it's all for today.
Rishikesh ji, we'll just take a few more minutes of yours. If there are any questions from the audience, you can please raise your hand or also leave it in the chat box.
किसी का ऋषिकेश जी से कोई प्रश्न है तो वो अपना हाथ ऊपर करें, या तो क्वेश्चन और आंसर जो चैट बॉक्स है उसमें भी आप लिख सकते हैं, हम आपको अनम्यूट करेंगे।
Rishikesh, there's a question that has come in saying, how has the community taken steps to make sure that this is conserved for the future, in the sense of the future generations? They're helping to regenerate in the pasture lands, but how can this be passed on from one community to the other community?
Things because the particular this Haldev festival having significance that the people's gathered, we gathered and start the preparation for the how to plan the grazing this year. So these some older members from the community go around the pastures. They go and look around what is the situation in the grazeland. So this particular festival in Dagat, they used a symbol of the Lavara Dagat, which is as a symbol of the Lord Krishna, they believe. So as they use this particular method for the to understand if these lavaras are available more in the pasture land. So they understand then what is the current situation of the grazing this year. So they have some calculation on that particular basis. That's some deep. They don't. Even I don't understand how they understood, but the particular community members are understand from the numbers of the particular grass, the proportion, what is the ratio and proportion they use, so understand how the situation in next few years, in next few times, in this particular year for the grazing. So the even the not just the Gauri community, the other communities I think also having some different approach for this community. This is the Bhaldi festival is just like the Govardhan Puja. In the Lord Krishna was believe that the worship of the nature is important. So this is a similar. So in the Gujarat, some or in the some I think Mathura Laman community, they use these practices about the use this pasture for the next few times. Yeah.
Thank you, Rishikesh. There was one more that came in. You spoke about the declining numbers of the cattle breed. Is the community taking any steps to help in that?
Actually, the Gaurav Video Association takes some use this some integrated methods for the conservation of this particular Gaurav cattle. So they use first to go for the forest community rights. Community forest rights in the 5 to 6 villages. We start the drive for the forest community rights. We make them a village community, and now our claim is submitted to subdivision of the district. So after the sitting the because in Maharashtra, the election of the Jilla Parishad and Panchayat has been not held from the last 3 years. So that's why the subdivision level postponed this because their committee is not formed to approve this. So this is first step that the Gauri community start for the prevent this development. The another one, the finding the markets. We are talk with the Vasundhara Dairy community for the better milk to get the purchase milk of the Gaula that's having some more essential and more nutritions and proteins like immunoglobulins highly enriched, so they can purchase this milks. Also, we have efforts to making some pastoral groups around these villages. Every villages from the Gaulu, we are making a women pastoral groups also for the EVM, that is ethno-veterinary medicines with an NGO. So, and they also works with the Center for People's Collective, Center for Pastoralism. They help us for this to prevent this gullah cattle.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
yeah, in this particular December, we have cattle exhibition. This is our seventh cattle exhibition now.
All
Yeah,
right.
in this,
Where will it be held?
it in the Karangna village of Wardha district. Because this particular cattle is just around in the three tehsils now. It's just remaining very, not so, it's now very rare. So we can't get an exhibition outside the Wardha district. So we rotate this in these few villages every year.
All right. Just one last one that's coming. These groups that you're talking about, whether it's the women groups or these pastoral groups, have they established any market linkages for the products, or has that kind of a system been developed already, or is it linked with the mainstream as well?
No, actually, this is for the we found this group for to provide them a training for ethno-medicine medical. Actually, the women are the in this Gauli community who are more engaged with these pastoral activities, like making extra product from the milk products like the ghee and butter and anything this kava. This all this product particularly made by the women. So women have a important role for us. So that's why this pastoral women's group we form. Also these pastoral groups we are linkage for this after the Vasundhara community approaches that you have to be from the women's group because they works with the women's corporations. So our plan was to engagement with them to make more sustainable these movements so they form their own groups, they can sell their products to Vasundhara Dairy Corporation. So this was a plan. So that's why we also celebrate our World Women's Day program for this particular pastoral women's. Yeah.
Thank you, Rushikesh ji. Saida Fatima says she'd like to know a little about women's participation in this entire process, especially in the planning and decision-making process.
Actually, they outside the planning, the women are not so, but they follow some cultural aspects. They worship the god and all, but they are not engaged in the activity for the grazing. They go for the extracurricular activities like to, how to maintain the cattle in summer. So they use cow dung on this cattle for the make it full. Uh, and the other things that they followed, they use to remove and take the cow dungs and the all other activities. So they don't have a role in the planning. Actually, the plan were done by the mostly the old male members, not even the youngers. Youngers have been participate in these buttocks, but the women's are not.
Thank you. Vinod Chavda ji has raised his hand. Would we please unmute him?